Breaking news tonight downtown. A large group of protesters are face-to-face with San Diego police at several intersections.
This started this morning with a peaceful protest. The group marched through the streets. Some made their way to Interstate 5, which had to be shut down for a period of time. Others made their way back to the Hall of Justice and SDPD headquarters. Along
the way, there were tense moments with officers. Flashbangs and tear gas were deployed. And San Diego police reported that items were thrown at them.
News 8's Netta Iranpour is downtown right now. She's been there all afternoon. Near 2nd and Broadway is the last time we checked in. What's the scene like now, Netta?
To hear the chanting get louder, and we're right on 2nd and Broadway, as you said. You see police here behind me closing off Broadway still, as they have been since about 2:30 or so. There's a little bit of the tear gas, still in the air right now, but we are hearing them chanting here on 2nd and Broadway, also on Broadway where they also have it blocked off. So you can see that crowd lined up right against where the police are. We see a second row of police as well. The SWAT team at the Cures, that's what it says on their uniforms. So there's some police in riot gear just blocking off Broadway. They've been trying to disperse this crowd. Earlier, San Diego police saying that violence in the crowd was escalating. We had reports of people throwing rocks and bottles at officers. We saw a few plastic bottles being thrown at the crowd earlier, and we also saw tear gas, the flashbangs, all of that was fired into the crowd as well when San Diego police ordered music going on. But there's also a band here. There's also a band here playing music. You can see a line of people there with their arms in the air right up against the officers. And at this point, it looks like from this vantage point, things have remained peaceful, at least in the past 30, 45 minutes. But when we were reporting live right around 4 p.m., we heard the sound of those flashbangs. We heard the sound of those flashbangs earlier. And so the tear gas we saw right around 4 p.m. or so. I don't want to get too far into where the police line is, but at this point I'm trying to stand away from the music so you can hear me speaking. But you can see they're playing music here, saxophones, right on 2nd Street as there's a crowd of people on their knees with their arms in the air. And a lot of people that have been out here say we want respect. They're trying to keep this peaceful. Many people are. And as we said earlier, police did say that they were trying to de-escalate the violence, trying to disperse the crowd. So that's what we've been seeing happening here with the flashbangs, the tear gas. They had to fire out onto the crowd to try to keep everyone from getting too violent, too rowdy. So if you can also hear me among the music, at this point, we're seeing Broadway still blocked off here with the officers lined up on Broadway in between State Street and 2nd Street. That's where Broadway is blocked off right now, and that's where this crowd is gathered right up against this line of officers. So I'm not sure if we have video from earlier, but we did get caught up in some of that tear gas earlier, right around 3 p.m. We also saw a very beautiful moment of police officers being asked to put their batons down, and they did exactly that. For now, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, we're going to send it to another area of downtown right now.
Yeah, we have our Brandon Lewis is downtown as well, near F and State Street. He's been down there for a little while as well. Brandon, can you hear us? How are things looking there right now?
Yeah,
there you are.
I can hear you just fine, Carlo and Alicia. Yeah, things are, well, it kind of ebbs and flows depending on what things are happening. So actually just a few minutes ago, there was a big crowd that suddenly ran away from the area where the police line was. That's a little bit closer to where Netta was. It seemed like there was some indication that a flashbang may have gone off or tear gas that Netta mentioned, but then the crowd quickly continued. I'm going to flip this around here and give you a look at what it looks like from our vantage point. Now, the San Diego Police Department is down there with some of their heavily fortified vehicles, just keeping an eye on things. It is important to note that this has been declared an unlawful assembly, which gives the police additional power when it comes to shutting things down. The crowd right now shouting, "Hands up, don't shoot." Every now and then they continue chanting different slogans, lots of anti-police policing, or especially wanting their message heard, no justice, no peace. That's another message that we hear quite frequently. Now, there is a good contingent of police all over the area. In fact, I'll come over this way here where there's a lot of officers standing by. I'll zoom in just a little bit if I can here. Having some trouble. Zoom in just a little bit if I can, which I'm having some difficulty doing. But there are several officers who are standing by with more protective gear, ready to step in if necessary. And again, because they have that unlawful assembly declaration already made, that gives them some additional powers. And there are law enforcement agencies from all across the county, not just San Diego, although they are, of course, the lead agency on this. We've seen sheriff's deputies, La Mesa Police Department, and even the Federal Protective Services, because the federal courthouse is right over there, and they have to stand watch. They're obligated to guard down there as well. Now, this protest stemmed from one that started about noon here at the Hall of Justice. They said they wanted city leadership, and then they also wanted to make their presence known to county leadership. A second protest expected to happen a little bit later this afternoon as well, down toward the Embarcadero area. So that's why there are a lot of police officers all across the downtown area, and they're asking folks, if you don't have any business to be, please go ahead and stay away. They don't need any more looky-loos or anyone else looking around trying part of the action. And we haven't seen the vandalism or looting that we saw in La Mesa, but of course that incident had happened later on in the evening. We have seen some things written on some of the downtown businesses, R.I.P. Floyd, and reference to George Floyd, who died in Minneapolis. Black Lives Matter also written and graffitied on several buildings, but otherwise things remaining relatively calm right now. Although, as Netta mentioned, there were instances where protesters were being a little bit violent toward the police officers, and they responded in kind. So we are continuing to follow the action down here as police officers continue to have a standoff with some of the protesters who are here, and we'll continue to check back in.